Feels good to get a win, and they don't come easy, that's for sure. Despite all the turnovers and the ups and downs, the battlefield position, UMass did a phenomenal job in the first half of that ball game. And I'm just proud of our guys to show the capabilities of overcoming some adversity and finding a way to put it all together and come out the second half and win that ball game. So a lot to grow from, a lot to learn from. Boy, we have a lot of work to do. And but I'm excited about the mindset of our young men, at least showing that they will fight. And we can do anything as long as we have that mindset and maintain that mindset. So I'm open myself for questions, whatever you guys got.
Stan, what was the message going into halftime to light a fire under the team?
It was just a matter of, they say they want to be great. They say they want to win. They say they want this. They say they want that. And we weren't doing the things that we said we wanted to do in the first half of that ball game. So it was a gut check. It was a matter of looking ourselves in the mirror and figuring out a way to do the things that we say we're going to do, and being real about it, and looking at the people next to you and finding the real purpose of getting that done. And we talk about it all week about the mindset of a winner. They just have this knack of just getting things done, and that's what they want to become. And at some point, they just got to figure that piece out. We just got to buckle down and get it done, regardless of what's going on around us, what's happening, what's the situation in the game, regardless of the scoreboard, all of that. Just buckle down and just get it done. And that was the message. And it wasn't anything that they hadn't heard before, but it was a gut check for us, and it was just a friendly reminder of what we said we're going to do. And it was good to see them respond the right way.
Stan, as far as mindset, was it more of the same, 4th and 1 on your own 29, right? That's where it was the gut check, I think. And not only that, you say, I guess Danny calls a pass, and you're like, yeah, let's just more of the same. We're going to do it that way.
Just having confidence in, the way we go about practice and the mindset of what we say we're going to be on fourth down from time to time. And that is aggressive. And it's something about converting those 4th down and ones, and being able to run it or throw it in those situations gives us a little bit of jolt of energy that sometimes permeates through the team. And I felt great about the way our defense was playing at the time. And as long as our defense plays that aggressive style of play, then I feel a lot more comfortable making decisions like that on 4th down.
Yeah, that throw that EJ had to Adonicus that he dropped in there, was that kind of like a little bit of jolt of energy that finally?
Yeah, that was a great play. Those two guys made a phenomenal play. Offensive line did a great job blocking for a good extended part of time, extended amount of time during that play. And it's something that, you'd love to see those two connect like that more frequently. Boy, EJ took some shots out there today, and, they brought pressure on that play as well. And, for him to be able to show the poise, deliver the ball on time, and hit it on a dime, I thought was really great to see, and something that we're going to grow from.
Stan, this week, did you feel like you got a better sense of how to use EJ and Quincy together and to complement each other?
That was something that was a halftime adjustment. We were struggling to run the football, and when you have the ability to run your quarterback, it equates the numbers in the run game. The defense has to either commit to it or not, and we found a way to get Quincy in the game and be productive that way by way of running the football and throwing RPOs and things of that sort. That for today, that was exactly what we needed to do to get the ball moving offensively for us. So to say that's what it's going to look like for next week, we'll have to see what Memphis is going to bring to the table. But it was good for us it was good to see that we were able to make an adjustment like that and have success in the process of doing it. So maybe something that we grow from.
And as a first-year coach, you've had every reason to just say you can bury DeJuan on the depth chart. And since you've gotten here, you found ways to make him feel like a crucial part of the program and trying to get him involved, moving the receiver today, gave him some snaps out there. What have you seen in him that makes you say you got to get this kid on the field?
God's gift of talent, number one. Again, a 6'5", guy that runs a 4.4 that has natural ball skills. He can play the position. It was not like we don't have a place to put him. He adds value. He adds size. He's smart. And he loves to play the game of football. So we're going to win with people like that. We're going to play him. We're going to find spots for him. And again, like anybody else, he's got to earn that right. I mean, he earned it at quarterback, and I didn't think there was any reason why he couldn't earn it at wide receiver. And he's earned his way to being productive at the wide receiver spot. So we're going to continue to grow him in that respect and see if we can get him timed up with our quarterbacks.
How about
moving forward.
How about EJ overcoming not just pressure, but his own mistakes, bad couple,
Absolutely.
right? Bad throws, and
Yeah,
did he wipe those and just move on?
He did. That's triple tough. That's what we do. You handle adversity, and we go into the game anticipating things are not going to go perfectly. I think you tend to get shocked, and it's hard to overcome things when you go into the game with an unrealistic mindset of everything's going to be perfect. Now, this is a game of football where what's guaranteed is setbacks, and we have to, continue to grow to respond to setbacks. And the better we become at responding to those things, closer we'll come to, winning more ball games. So that's what it's going to take.
Stan, what was the reason behind the change at center today?
Guys getting banged up here and there is what it is from time to time, and just finding the right mix of guys. We want to run the football, right? And we're trying to put the guys in the best positions, and what UMass did a phenomenal job of doing is presenting a lot of defense, a lot of multiple defense that included pressure coming from everywhere. And for us, that centerpiece had to be a great communicator, had to get us in and out of issues today. And, we had to put a single digit there today. And I know that's not a very common thing, and obviously we would love to have things set in place, but we got to do what we got to do to win ball games. And our players understand that, and I'm proud of the fact that they're able to midstream adjust and be placed in positions where they know they have a major role to help us win ball games, and there's a lot of unselfish thought process that goes about that for our players. So I appreciate that by them for sure.
Stan, how do you think the line played today? It looked like even Adams having his share of struggles with a couple of snaps. Is that him just getting warmed up to things, and they're still, like you said, even on some of EJ's passes, he's still taking some hits and taking some pressure there. They're still very much a work in progress at this point.
Well, I think we're all a work. The whole team's a work in progress, but for sure, to start off with a sack, right, and some penetration from the different looks, we had to really settle in. They were seeing a lot to UMass's credit. I mean, they presented a lot of football out there on defense for us to handle. And I'll have to go back and really take a look at the film to see how well we handled it. It didn't look like we handled it very well, but I do believe that at some point in the game we settled down and played some pretty productive football up front. And we knew it was going to be this type of game. I don't like that it took that long for us to figure it out, but it did. And to still come away with a victory. I mean, we had to play okay, but we're going to get better all around.
Stan, last week you mentioned trying to get all the pass catchers to be able to have good games with each other. This week, Adonicus has another good week. And then DMR, first game back from injury, he winds up being, the secondary target. What does he add to the passing game? And, where do you feel like the team is at this week as far as starting to get on that same page where everybody can contribute all in the same game?
It's a good question. What DMR brings to the table is, value in both the run and the pass. He is a very good blocker, has great hands, can run great routes, understands where adjustments need to be made in the pass game, and can get us out of trouble in the run game for sure. But, to have that piece back, I'm hoping that we can become a more well-rounded offense both in the run and the pass game. Again, some guys are going to play us in man cover, some guys are going to play us in zone cover, some guys are going to have to, are going to blitz us, some guys are not. And when you have that multiplicity on defense, it's hard to sit there and say that this guy's going to get the ball, that guy's going to get the ball in this situation, and that's to EJ's, credit that he has a progression within every pass play that's called, and he's going to work through his progression and try to find the open targets. Today it just so happened to be Donald. You know, I promise you, we didn't game plan this week saying, hey, Donald's got to touch the ball this many times to get 100 yards. We went into this ball game working through a progression within our pass concepts to make sure that our quarterback knew where to go with the football. And that's offensive play. That's the throw game. You know, we're not, I can't say that we're good enough to sit there and say that we're going to have a receiver open when we want them open. We're just not at that point yet. You know, we'd love to get to that point, you know, but no, we have a quarterback that needs to work through a progression, manage the offense properly, and he's doing a decent job of that right now.
What were the defensive halftime adjustments? I mean, they did kind of, you know, they were able to maintain possession, quarterback run game in the first half they had going, and then that kind of stopped.
Yeah, there were some misfits that were going on early on, you know, and you know, just guys really having to settle in. You know, that was a good. I mean, again, you got to give UMass credit. They came in here running the ball 72% of the time because they're good at it, and they're really good at it. They're big and they're physical, and they gave our guys some problems early on. And again, that quarterback run equates numbers, and it forces our safeties to come up, and you know, and again for the defense, a secondary. There's guys that we see in the game plan that are open downfield, and here they are running the ball down your throat in the trenches. So you know, you had to be very disciplined. We had to be, you know, very disciplined with our eye control, putting our eyes on the right places at the right times. And you know, in the first half, we did that 50% of the time. We had guys misfitting, but we settled down and we got back to fundamentals. And really, what it came down to is playing with lower pad level, you know, and shocking, you know, them on contact before they shock us on contact, just like the essence of football. You know, it wasn't necessarily sometimes a schematic adjustment, but sometimes just a fundamental adjustment that had to take place. And, you know, we did it, and, you know, I think we settled down in the second half that way as well. But they played great for the most part. I thought they played well, and we put them in some tough positions again, and they kept the points off the board again. So we got something special going on with our defense for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.